What's up, world? It's your boy T.N.T back at it one more again with Try Nitro Reacts. And today we gonna be reacting to a couple videos from a off the hinges animator slash commentator slash all around crazy ass motherfucker by the name of Offending Everyone. This guy does not hold back any punches when it comes to his videos. And the first one that we go react to is called The Drake Dating Simulator. I already know this one finna be on some major crazy shit. But yeah, let's get into it.
Allegations.
Wow.
Kendrick Lamar has been making some allegations against Drake recently.
That video came in strong as fuck. Allegations!
Saying he has a ghostwriter, tush implants, and secret children.
Was that a fucking... No. Wait a minute.
Saying he has a ghostwriter.
What did I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all? This man do not pull any punches. Wow.
Tush implants, and secret children. Some may be related, others coerced. But just because baby Kendrick says it doesn't make it true. If anything, he's probably just afraid for his childlike body. So it's important to remember that a song, lyric, or joke shouldn't be taken seriously. Now with that out of the way, let's get to the next part of the video called How Young is Too Young for Drake? Publicly, the youngest has gone is 19-year-old Haley Baldwin, which is a little sus, but totally legal. However, when asked about it, Haley says she's known him for 4 years.
Wow, do the math. Oh, shit.
Meaning when she was 15, he was 30. Oh, but that's just one girl, right? Wrong. Because he also, allegedly, dated 18-year-old model Bella Harris. Which, again, totally legal and not weird at all until you figure out he's known her since she was 16. Drake is basically putting girls on pre-order. What?
The dude said putting girls on pre-order. Wow.
And other diddlers know there's a cue. Sorry, busy downloading trauma. You can have it right after I corrupt it. It's not his.
He said you can have it right after I corrupt it.
His fault. The younger you are, the better your DLC package. Just ask future those victim, Millie Bobby Brown, who's been texting Drake since she was 14.
We just texted each other the other day and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more.
Ew, every guy watching this knows I miss you means I'm thirsty. You might as
Hell yeah. When you say I miss you to a girl, you trying to get her to pull up. Real shit.
well text I'm guilty. But you know what? Maybe I'm looking into this too much. What did you guys text about, Millie?
About boys. He helps me.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Letting you know exactly how to groom yourself before going out. But what specific information did he give you about the boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
And that's when it all went downhill. She shouldn't have said that. That made everybody's radar go off like, what? Nigga, what? Hell no. It's one thing to be a fan of the girl, but that's crazy.
Oh, predators always make me cry. That stays in the text messages. Just an adult having a private conversation with a child. Nothing to see here. What do you think the over-under is? Drake texted her the pedo mantra of, it'll be our little secret, or no one needs to know. I mean, I'm not saying he's a predator, but he's definitely using their playbook. Starting with, let me help you with the boys, to let me help you with flirting, to let me help you with stuff. You want to accidentally poop on your future hubby? No? Well, then you gotta practice. Oh, but those are just allegations. It's not like Drake actually bediddled someone underage, right? Somewhat wrong. Because there's video footage of him bringing a 17-year-old girl on stage, then proceeding to kiss her as he grinds up on her. Pretty disgusting, but not technically illegal, as it happened in Colorado, where the age of consent is 17. However, he didn't know this until after kissing her. And once he does find out, he says, I can't go to jail yet, man. So he knows he effed up. And what do you think he does next? Did you guys double down and say, why do you look like that? You dick. Look at all this. Yep, he just starts fanning her with his red flag. But then he asked her to take a seat, right? Nope. He triples down and says, I had fun. I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but I had fun. I like the way your breath feel against my chest. That's right. After potentially committing a crime, he wanted everyone to know he had no remorse. And I know what you're thinking. That must be it. What could he have possibly done to make the situation worse aside from kissing her hands, her cheeks, her forehead, and her lips? Oh,
damn, he went in.
All I need to see, officer. Take him away. Seriously, I got caught up in the moment, and then there's, when you're famous, they just let you do it. Sometimes I don't even ask for permission. I just invite them on stage and grab them by the hymen. Let's face it, people, there's been a lot of warning signs. Did you forget his song Nice, where he says, high school pics, you was even bad then? Or 6 months ago, where he posted a video shot in a middle school? I'm starting to think he leaked his own pic so prosecutors couldn't use highly accurate descriptions of it from his victims as evidence against him in court. Sorry, Stacy, we all know it looks like a Pringles can. So unless your tears were recording, I think we're done here. And let's not forget the most damning evidence, Heartbeat 6. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd been done arrested. I'm way too famous for that shit you suggested. Which only proves 3 things. 1, life imitates art.
There is no quicker way for people to think that you are diddling kids than by writing a song about it.
2, his ghostwriter deserves more credit, because clearly this was all him. And 3, Drake doesn't have friends. He doesn't. Only leeches trying to suck money out of him. A true friend would have said, bro, are you insane? You're gonna put out a song with like...
Yep, this is what happens when you have a bunch of yes men in the studio, because they should have stopped that shit right then and there.
10 references to porking? But instead, his homies were like, yeah, that shit's dope. Send it. Maybe that's Drake's problem. Too many people around him telling him yes.
I just said that.
He's Drake. He could have any woman he wants. Everywhere he walks are pet stores of kitties just begging to be bought. But if you could have any woman, does that make them less desirable? We all know hunting is part of the appeal. Getting someone to go on a date, come back to your place, and salad is hard. But the thought of it possibly happening makes you hard. You see, men don't want to be handed trophies. We want to win a trophy. So even though Drake's at a buffet, he can't help but crave.
Not on the pedo tip, but I feel what he's saying. Like, I like for a woman to make me work for it. If you just throw the ass at me like, you ain't gonna make me work for it at all. You don't want to go out first. You don't want a little something on the bill, something like a quick movie night first or something. Like, don't just throw the pussy at me quick, especially if you look good. 'Cause I don't worry about it, how many other motherfuckers you done threw that shit at too damn quick and fast. Like, STDs are very real. You better ask Houston.
Sour Patch Kids. I mean, monsters gotta eat too, right? So maybe we should start being a little less judgmental and a little more empathetic. Because say what you want about Drake, but that man never speeds in a school zone. Or as he calls it, window shopping. Sometimes he just shakes a Gucci bag out the window to get their attention.
Wow.
And he's always looking both ways at crosswalks again and again and again. Sure, once he gets a whiff of their innocence, he can't be stopped. But what are we gonna do? Investigate his potential crimes and give his victims some justice? You think that's gonna work? You can take the kids out of his house, but you can't take the kids out of his mind. He'll always be hunting for forbidden fruit, even if it's not ripe yet. Drake is a VIP, or very impatient p***o. Rapper is only 1 P away from trauma. Think about it. Drake said his favorite game is blackjack. Probably because he's always hitting on 14 and 15 and stopping at 21. Why does being so wrong feel so right? He says in front of Build-A-Bear. She's turning 18, which to Drake means that meat is about to expire. Can we all accept there's a difference between a joke and violence? Like on March 7th, one of Drake's security guards was shot outside his house. Can we all agree that's wrong? Because if anyone's shooting their shot, it's Drake during prom night. This is God's plan. You know what you want to do. Oh, you want to push that subscribe button. Oh, push the button. Push the button.
Hey, y'all go subscribe to that man. What I tell y'all, man, this dude is ridiculous. Hey, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to that man. I'm going to put the link in the description below. But let's get to the next video. All right, this next video is called How to Beat Cancer. I already know this finna be some bullshit.
Cancer is a horrible disease that affects everyone, so let's make fun of it together in my cancer tier list. The categories are seriously, horrible, pity me, and take me, Jesus! First up, lung cancer. Hey, you know what I'm a fan of? Breathing. It's one of the few things I'm addicted to, aside from Addies. And fapping. So I can only imagine gasping for air like a Girl Scout at Drake's house. I'll take you, Thin Mint.
Man, steady be going at Drake. He really hates that man.
Besides, having a reduced lung capacity means it's harder to speak, which to me is the ultimate deal breaker. If you said I could talk all day but gotta be a starfish, then go ahead and snip the tips, SpongeBob. Plus, everyone associates lung cancer with smoking, meaning everyone thinks it's your fault. Breast cancer, you poor soul. Lung cancer, put down the bowl! So lung cancer is going in, pity me. Next up, skin cancer, which is like the sun's way of saying, but getting that sweet golden
that was Mississippi weather right there.
glow is worth it, right? Wrong. Because you know what's not attractive? Moles. If they were, the hub would have a category for it. 100 options and still no Dalmatian? Guess you're not the dog she was looking for. But just because your balls are dry doesn't mean you have to die. You see, skin cancer is like a broken condom. Preventable if caught early, but will ruin your life if left untreated. That's why you gotta make sure to abort those moles before they get caught in a coat hanger. The process is real simple. Just strip down in front of a stranger and ignore their look of disgust as they deadly slice your body. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Turns out baking like a human rotisserie had consequences after all. So if you want to avoid an extra circumcision, then start making SPF your BFF. And if you still want to be tan, then just do what I do and pay someone $50 to one on ya. Ugh,
Wait,
it's
what?
So sticky. So I'm putting skin cancer in. Seriously? Next up, prostate cancer. You've been exit only for 48 years until Dr. Murphy came in your life. You didn't have to wine and dine you either. Just a simple put on this gown. It was
Damn, like, he just ruined this shit for every man who gotta go get prostate exams in the future. Still go get them exams, man. Make sure y'all stay healthy and go to all your checkups and your appointments and stuff, man. Don't let this stuff creep up on you. A lot of these cancers, some of them, if, like he said, caught early, can be treated, and sometimes you can survive, and sometimes Jesus might have to take the wheel. But yeah, anyway.
It's enough for you to give up that mud flap. Now, normally, this would bring you great pleasure, but due to unresolved childhood trauma, brings you great shame. Worst part is, if the doctor finds something, then this won't be a simple one and done. I was drunk. Nope, you're going to be opening up that trunk on the regs. Better get used to backing in parking spots, because it's going to be tender. But, like skin cancer, prostate can be prevented if caught early. So I'm putting prostate in seriously. Next up, leukemia, which is the most common cancer among children, proving God doesn't like kids either. Leukemia is like Trump supporters. They're a bunch of white, useless cells that spread misinformation and make you feel sick. The only difference being you can't get leukemia from a fox. Now, obviously, leukemia has a lot of downsides, like you're too tired to fight off Drake.
Another Drake shot. Golly. Too tired to fight off Drake. That is horrible. But funny as fuck.
Every thrust makes you bruised, and you probably won't live long enough to testify against him, but there are some positives, aside from your cancer diagnosis. Like you might be able to meet a non-diddling celeb through Make-A-Wish, as long as it's not an A-lister. Leo's into riding 19s, not dying 13s, so you're gonna have to pick a celeb desperate for some good publicity. My recommendation, J.K. Rowling. Now you get someone to narrate Harry Potter while also teaching about pronouns. He drank the media's polyjuice potion, and now he thinks he's a she. So I'm putting leukemia in horrible. Next up, pancreatic cancer, which is like hearing Drake behind you. By the time you notice, it's already too late. Because pancreatic cancer has the lowest survival rate out of all the cancers, which could be the worst or best news of your life. Think about it. No more worrying about climate change, fascism, or buying a house. You're in the end game now. Time to start spending your money on fun stuff, like streetwalkers or pet llama. Whatever you want to blow your load in. Who cares about diseases or shame when God's about to click that power button? Maybe this ends up being the best thing to ever happen to you. It wasn't until you were about to die before you truly lived. So pancreatic cancer is going in horrible. Next up, ovarian cancer, which sneaks up faster than you can blow a whistle because the symptoms are common things.
I'm surprised he didn't drop a Drake reference in that one.
It's like pelvic pain, changes in appetite, and feeling bloated, so it's easy to overlook. Now, if you have these symptoms, does that mean you have cancer? Maybe. I don't know. Go get it checked. Check it! Because ladies, you know what's worse than ovarian cancer? Telling your husband you don't feel well, and his response being, it's probably just your period. Well, it's not just my period, Tom. It's fucking cancer! But even though ovarian cancer is bad for women, I think we can all agree it's worse for men. Fellas, if your girl loses her ovaries, it means she could experience early menopause symptoms like vaginal dryness, decreased libido, and weight gain! So I think it's clear we're the ones suffering. So I'm putting ovarian cancer.
Boy, the women go come after me for this video, but fuck it.
And take me, Jesus! Next up, breast cancer. Tatas make people happy. It's a fact. So why does God keep taking them away? Is it to punish women for taking pictures of their food? Possibly. All I know is fun bags have power over people. The power to turn a 4 into an 8. The power to turn the NFL into a pride parade. The power to shut off men's reality switch. Just think about how many empires have fallen to a $14 deep V. I can't even look at a lowercase w without turning into an animal. Ready to risk it for the biscuit. Those sweet, soft buttermilk biscuits. So I'm putting breast cancer in. Take me, Jesus! Next up, testicular cancer. Not my balls. Well, it's not both. It's just one ball. Not my balls! Well, the survival rate is 99% if we just... Not my balls! You are not taking my manhood away! You see, I have an extremely fragile ego, and snipping off my dangly parts will make me sad, which will make me angry, which will make me lash out on others. Do you want to feel threatened by someone who doesn't feel like he has anything to lose? No? Well, then let me die like a man! You know, all this could have been prevented if you just took some time every once in a while to feel around for abnormal lumps. All I'm hearing is this is my girl's fault. If she just blew me more, I might have lived! Again, these are things you could have done for yourself. Okay, I have to stop you right there, Doc. Admitting I was wrong is admitting weakness, and you can't be weak if you're a man. So how about instead I live it?
Why you sound like some that fresh and fit whack ass to say? Again!
Denial, continue to blame everyone but myself, and let my health deteriorate while I push anyone away who tries to help. But it's just one. My balls! So this is obviously going in Take Me Jesus. Next up,
yes.
kidney or renal cancer. Great, I already piss all the time. Can't wait to lose a kidney and gain a diaper. Imagine convincing a girl to get on her knees and the first thing she sees is Huggies. Now it's drying both of us up. Just because she's into R. Kelly doesn't mean she's into pee. Which means
I'm lost at words. Just because she like R. Kelly don't mean she like P. Or maybe she does.
the only solution is, I'm gonna have to steal one. And you know how time-consuming it is to download, grind, get bags of ice, lure unsuspecting men to a motel close to the highway? This on top of all the YouTube surgery videos I gotta watch.
Wow.
Who has that kind of time when I have to piss again? So this is going right in pity me. Next up, brain cancer. This would be the ultimate karma, having God turn me into a Pop-Tart, saying, not so funny now, huh? As I'm petting a dog too hard. But joke's on him, because ignorance is bliss. You think as my tumor gets bigger, I'm gonna care about climate change? No! I'll be too busy petting Rufus. Now, sure, I get an occasional seizure, but it's not like I'm gonna remember it. Besides, I hear women love vibrators. So I'm putting brain cancer in seriously. Next up, endometrial or uterine cancer, which is most common in women over 50, meaning your life is already over. You're too old to have kids, and you're too old to be considered a cougar. Even if you do find someone to pork, the symptoms include vaginal pain. Imagine telling a guy to go slower as he's trying his hardest to remain hard. I'm only throwing 80% at a 6, let alone your dried up Twix. So uterine is going in seriously. Next up, lymphoma, where your immune system turns into a bouncer at Drake's house, just letting anyone in. There are over 60 different types of lymphoma, but overall the survival rate is quite high, meaning you can have cancer but still go out. And you know what's a good icebreaker? That's right, pity. Hey, sorry if I look a little tired. Probably just the cancer. Now, you might think dying is a huge turnoff, but quite the opposite. You see, women aren't built like us. When they pork, they instantly fall in love. That's why a girl goes insane when you break up. Because how dare you make her think you'll be together forever? It's either marry her or die. Either way, you'll be in the clear. So that's my cancer tier list, but going back to the title of the video, how do you actually beat cancer? Simple, by laughing at it. And medicine. Mostly medicine. But laughter can help us cope with trauma and reminds us there's still joy to be found. So whether you have cancer or an incurable disease like Tier 3 Twitch simps, it's important to find reasons to smile. Because it's not just about surviving, it's about living. Sir, I got some bad news. I'm not a man. I identify as a woman. Well, Steven. It's Stephanie. Okay, Stephanie, you have testicular cancer. What? My girlfriend freaked out when she found out I had a kidney, but it's her fault for poking around in the freezer. Hey ladies, sorry if I look a little tired. Probably just the cancer. Oh my god, don't worry, it's not contagious. In fact, the doctor says being around or inside people actually helps. You know what you want to do. Oh, you want to push that subscribe button. Oh.
Man, wow. This next video is called How Crazy Was Your Ex? Pretty fucking crazy. All of them. Like, I ain't gonna go into that. But anyway, let's check out the last final video that we're gonna be reacting to from offending everybody or offending everyone. I'm sorry if I fucked up your name. Please don't come after me. It's called How Crazy Was Your Ex?
Key in my car, breaking and entering, eating my sandwich. These are just some of the crazy things my ex did. So here's a story about the wildest person I've ever been with, named Angie. It was my third year of college and I was heading to the woods to smoke when I see a woman hysterically crying. I was like, hey girl, you look like you're having a rough go of it. You wanna smoke some sticky icky? She hesitates at first and says, sure. So we begin walking to the woods, and all I could think about was how easy it'd be to kidnap her. She had no idea who I was, and now we're walking somewhere where no one would hear her scream. Talk about a rookie mistake. But lucky for her, I had morals. And no rope. Anyway, she introduced herself. Hey, I'm Angie. Pleasure to meet you, Angie. I'm Steve Storms. You're lying. Nope, that's my real name. That's crazy, because I have a thunderstorm tattoo in the back of my neck. Here, push my hair aside and you'll see. So I stand behind her, palm her hair, and immediately get aroused. Johnson's like, whoa, we doing this right now? Relax, this is step one. What was that? Oh, a lovely tattoo. Anyway, we get to the woods, and we're laughing, having a good time when I say, so what got you all hot and bothered? Well, I just broke up with my boyfriend. Johnson's like, game on. I said, oh, that's terrible to hear, all while barely making eye contact. She was wearing a low-cut shirt, and it was cold outside. A little hard to make eye contact, you know? Plus, drugs were impacting my decision-making. Sober me is respectful me. High me is fun bags pretty.
Fun bags pretty. Type shit.
So after our smoke session, I spit some game and get her number. Now, I had planned on giving her some time to recover, as she just went through a rough breakup, but after a few days of texting, my Johnson's like, put it in!
And that's the biggest mistake that you can make. Fellas, listen to me. Ladies, too. Never jump into it with somebody who just got out of a relationship. Like, Not even on a casual fucking thing, because they still got trauma from the past relationship. They go bring all that baggage over to you, and then just don't do it.
So I invite her back to my place for a movie. She agrees, and for the first 20 minutes, things are going well, until she brings up her RA. Talk about how hot he is, and how sometimes she sneak into his room and hide under his covers. Needless to say, this was a huge turnoff. My Johnson was like a deflated balloon. Party over. So once the movie was done, I asked her to leave. The next day, she goes back to flirt texting me, but I wasn't having it. I'm like, girl, why are you writing this to me? Shouldn't you be sending this to your RA? She goes, no, it's not like that. We're just friends. I'm like, yeah, okay. Then my Johnson's like, psst. Psst, remember those nips? I'm like, damn, Jim Dog, you make a compelling argument. Well, I guess I could give her another chance. So I invite her over again for another movie, but this time my roommates aren't leaving. They're like, we gave you the room the other day and you dropped the ball. I'm like, that's a valid point. Whatever. We'll just all watch it together. 10 minutes in and she starts texting me. This movie's boring. Wish we were doing something more interesting. Winky face. So after pondering for a moment, I said out loud, hey Ange, you wanna go in my room? Sure. Then 2 quick high fives to my roommates later, and we're doing the dirty. And this chick was wild. Moaning, contorting her body, whispering in my ear, you're so big. Oh, magical. Afterwards, I'd even smoked cigarettes and somehow had one in my mouth. I'm like, damn girl, that was some good fucking. Anyway, Angie came over again a few days after, and a few days after that, and then she started coming over every day. Best part was, she would leave afterwards. It was the dream. Working with no commitments, what more could a college student want? But what I neglected to realize was how lazy it'd make me. You see, when a guy's hunting for Kitty, he's on his A game, freshly trimmed, looking sharp, and smelling like a burrito in a nightclub. But when Kitty's guaranteed, we get lazy. I'll give an example. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I'd go to karate in the morning. Afterwards, I'd head back to my room where Angie be in my bed waiting for me. Now, normally I'd shower first, as I just sweat my balls off, but one day she presses me up against the door and starts me. I'm like, damn girl, if you don't care, I don't care. And this only made me get lazier. Because not only did I stop showering before baby making, but I stopped showering after. That's
walking around with the cooler smell. Ugh.
Dank just be following me around from class to class. Why does it smell like shit and shame in here? And because Poon was guaranteed, I stopped hunting for Kitty altogether. Why go to the bar and spoon feed White Claws into a chick when I already had one back in my room, ready to swallow whatever I gave her? None of that, hey, let's go dancing for 45 minutes as I dry hump you into thinking I'd be good into the bedroom. Bitch is already in my bed twerking. So this continued for the rest of the semester until we're about to head home for the summer. Angie texts me saying, come to my room. We need to talk. Now, normally I'd be freaking out, thinking she's about to say she's pregnant, but there's no way. Because sure, we were talking on the regs, but she was so good at taking birth control. Every day at 4 p.m., no matter what was happening, she'd snap and say, pills. It's not even like she set alarms. She just had a baby-ending spider sense. Time to die, kid. Wow. So I went up to her room and she says, do you want a date? Because you'll be living off campus next year, and this won't be as simple as going down a flight of stairs to see one another. That's a good point. You know what? Let me think about it. So after a day of pondering, I was like, oh, hell no. Because even though we had great chemistry in the bedroom, the bitch never laughed at my jokes. I'd be killing in the school pool, and she'd just be floating there motionless, like Matthew Perry's corpse. Start swimming, buddy. Anyway, I meet back up with Ange and let her down the best way I could. She seemed to take it all right, not realizing her brain was beginning to tweak. That summer, I'm on Facebook, posting on a bunch of hotties' walls, not realizing Ange was seeing this, bugging the fuck out. So much so, she would call up my friends hysterically crying. Friends be like, well, you aren't dating, so what's the problem? The problem being, Ange's feelings had tied up her logic, and no plans of setting them free. Fast forward to the beginning of fall semester, and my roommates and I are having a party. Things are going great until Ange comes over and starts cock-blocking the shit out of me. She wasn't even pretending. At one point, she sits down in the middle of a Kings game going, I want to play. We're kind of in the middle of, whatever, here's some cards. So I go back to macking on the chick next to me when Ange says, I have to go to the bathroom. Ladies, come with me. Keep in mind, she doesn't know any of the women there. So they all pile in the bathroom, and I'm looking at the guys going, this isn't not good. A few minutes later, they come out, and surprise, surprise, none of them want to play anymore. I'm like, Ange, what did you say to them? She goes, nothing. I'm like, all right, that's it.
She made you look like a fucking scumbag and a super villain. It made her look like the innocent person that got played. So yeah, she effectively cock-blocked you, my boy.
Get the f*** out. She starts to cry, pretending she's the victim, but I could care less. I knew with her around, I was never getting laid. So I said, get out of here! A few days later, I'm walking to a bar when I see one of my friends across the street. I'm like, Adrian! He looks at me and keeps walking. But my drunk ass is like, well, maybe he didn't recognize me. So I run over and I'm like, hey, homie. Adrian was being real apprehensive, and I'm like, what's wrong, man? Did I say something horrible? If I did, I'm sorry. Nah, I thought you were angry at me. Why would I be angry at you? Well, Ange said, that is crazy. But even though we hashed things out, I was still super pissed. Because if Ange is telling telling this guy I don't want to speak to him, then she's probably doing it to others. Now I'm missing out on connections and experiences because some is lying about me? Oh, I was heated. So drunk me thought, what is the meanest thing I could do right now? I could call her some basic insult like punt or bore, but I'm crafty and I could do better than that. Then it hit me. You see, the last time we were and I thought, you know what, this doesn't feel that tight. So while I was her, I stuck in a finger, then 2 fingers, then I stuck my whole hand. Now, granted, my hand was curled, but that's still a lot of digits to cram in a clam. And that's when I came up with the greatest nickname ever, Whole Hand Ange. Oh, wow. It's the chef's kiss of insults. So I text Angie that her new nickname around campus is Whole Hand Ange. Needless to say, she did not take it very well and text back literal death threats.
Damn.
It's really brightened up my day, you know? The next day I get a text from a number I don't recognize, and it turns out it's Angie's sister. She goes on this huge rant of, you have no idea who you're messing with, and I'll ruin your life for disrespecting my sister. Now, of course, I showed my homies, who all had a good laugh, and now we're spitballing ideas of things to write back when I say, hey, how about, I respect your sister, I wash my hand before playing her like a puppet. Even my buddies were like, bruh, that might be a little much. So I wrote it out and was about to send when I started to have second thoughts. Because normally my brain always picks the funny option, regardless of how much trouble will get me in. 'Tis my how to your high school teacher video. But in this one moment, I thought, you know what? I probably should let this go. However, I didn't let anything else go. Over the next few weeks, I'd get DMs from guys on Facebook threatening to beat the shit out of me, and I'd always respond back with, you are adorable. Because I get they're trying to protect someone who's spoon-feeding them lies, but threatening someone on Facebook is like a 10 with herpes. Flashy at first glance, but ultimately worthless. It's also funny to me that Ange was telling people I'm harassing her, as she's encouraging people to harass me. Like, damn girl, you don't see any projection here? And even though she seemed hyper-fixated on me, I could care less about her. Because no matter how many times I never loved her. So I didn't have this emotional desire to get revenge. But I did enjoy seeing her. Because every time we'd bump into each other, she'd scream, I fucking hate you! And just think for a moment how much power that is. My mere presence is enough to ruin someone's day. It made me so happy. But this only added to Angie's insanity, and in December, I get a phone call from Campus PD telling me to come down to the station. Obviously, I'm really nervous, because 95% of the time when a girl says a guy's harassing her, she's right. But luckily, the cops were very reasonable.
A woman named Angie is claiming you're harassing her. Now, we've heard her side of the story. We'd like to hear yours.
So the first thing I told him is we used to have in the regs.
Wait a minute. You used to have a romantic relationship?
Yeah, why do you think all this is happening? The cop just rolls his eyes and says,
continue.
Then I showed him all the threatening texts and messages I got, and by the end of it, the officer was completely on my side. However, because police were called on a student, I also had to go speak to the director of student affairs. And this bitch was the polar opposite. Before I said anything, she just starts listing threats. Harassment to students will not be tolerated, and you could be expelled for After minutes of listening to this chick rant, I said, so you've only heard one side of a story and immediately came to a conclusion? Huh, I didn't realize an accusation was a conviction. Maybe you should take some of my criminal justice classes and see how gathering evidence is important when it comes to a potential crime. Needless to say, she was pissed, but I just sat there arms crossed like, I know you got nothing, bitch. Fast forward to Valentine's Day, and I'm dating this lovely girl named Rachel. We're both walking on campus holding hands when we bump into Angie, who goes ballistic, screaming, you, you piece of shit. My girl starts chewing her out, saying, he doesn't want your stinky cooter anymore, you flat-faced bitch. I'm laughing, dragging my girl away, saying, it's not worth it. Just ignore her. The next day, I get another call from campus police, so I go down to the station and speak to the same officer who says,
so we got more complaints of harassment?
Officer, I've done my best to avoid her. And in the time I've spoken to you, I've only bumped into her once on Valentine's Day when I was with my girlfriend. Officer was trying to remain professional, but I could tell he's like, ugh,
I can't believe I gotta deal with this nonsense.
A week later, I get a call from Ange saying, we need to talk. I'm thinking she's gonna try to bury the hatchet. Nope. Turns out her paranoia was at max, and she says, I know you keep stalking me, and if you don't stop, I'll be forced to take legal action. At first, I'm being real neutral, saying, Ange, I'm not stalking you.
Wait a minute. She trying to blame him for stalking now? The fuck?
You or harassing you or quite frankly care what you do. But she is adamant, saying, you think I'm making this up? You think I'm crazy? No, I got f***ing witnesses. I said, listen, I'm not calling you crazy, but calling the cops on Valentine's Day when you see me holding hands with another girl is a little cray-cray. Then she starts threatening my career at the time, saying, you know, if I file charges against you, you'll never be a cop. That's when my brain snapped to sarcasm mode.
Wait, you wanted to be a cop? You wanted to be a cop?
I'm like, damn, girl, I didn't think 6.5 inches was enough to lose your mind over. Yeah, here we are.
Hey, it's not about the size, bro. It's the motion in the ocean. He must be. You was able to touch the back of that oven with that 6.5. No, did he?
I know I'm a god at f***ing, but you're gonna have to find a new prophet, okay? Whole hand Ange.
Wow.
And guys, to this day, I have never seen someone so angry. She couldn't even form words. She just sat there shaking, going, That's when I knew it was time to dip. About a month later, I get a call from my friend Nora, who just so happens to be Angie's roommate. Nora invites me over her place, and I'm like, is this a trap? She's like, no, Angie's gone for the weekend, so it's just me here. I'm like, oh, all right. So I go over, and we're hanging out for a bit, when she casually mentions, you know, I found your schedule in Angie's desk. I'm like, what? She goes, here, this is your schedule, right? And I'm looking at it going, holy shit. Angie broke into my place. Nora's like, what are you talking about? I said, because one day I came home and the kitchen window was open. I go to my roommate and I'm like, Jake, why did you open the kitchen window? You know, like it's busted and super hard to close.
I didn't open it.
Bro, you're the only one here, and it's not like we got robbed because our laptops and TV are still here. But little did I know someone did break in because that same day my schedule was missing off my wall. That's when Nora says, also, I probably should have told you this sooner, but one day I caught Ange next to your car. Wait, what? I was heading over your place at night when I caught Ange bent over by your car. I asked what she was doing, but she just played dumb. I'm like, God damn it, because someone keyed my car. I just thought it was some drunk asshole, not some crazy bitch. Now, luckily, I didn't have any more interactions with Ange and thought it was all behind me. That wasn't until about a year later when I was working at Bed Bath & Beyond. I had recently threw out my lower back and was super depressed, just unloading boxes, when I get a phone call from my old roommate, Jake. Jake is like, hey, Steve, listen, I shouldn't be telling you this, but I just thought you should know, Ange is pregnant. Whoa, what? Yeah, and actually I was wondering, do you think it's yours? What? No, we haven't smashed in like 2 years. Oh, okay. I was getting worried for a second. But Jake, you know what this means, right?
That you won't be a father?
Well, of course that, but it means she trapped someone.
What?
She trapped someone, Jake. She was so distraught over the fact I could just with her for over a year and have no feelings that she found a way to make someone stay forever.
What if she just forgot to take birth control?
She never forgets to take birth control, Jake! Besides, it's still effective even if you forget to take it for a few days. She trapped someone, and it could have been me, Jake. This crazy bitch could have ruined my life. But instead, I get to live and see a sunrise one more time.
Glad I can make your day, Steve. Now go live, buddy.
I will, Jake. Did this bitch just send me a friend request?
What if it ended up being Jake's fucking kid? That'd be a hell of a plot twist.
You know what you want to do? Oh, you want to push that subscribe button. Oh, push the button. Push the button.
Yeah, that was wild, man. It's crazy what a woman or a man can do when they are obsessed and won't leave you the hell alone. She carried that on for 2 whole years of harassing this dude. That is dedication, bro. Like, what the hell was you doing to her in that bed? You must have been making her cream, squirt, and jerk. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all go click the link in the description and subscribe to the man. He is hilarious as fuck, and his videos will have you belly laughing. Yeah, but if you like what you saw, like, comment, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. And it's your boy T.N.T for Try Nitro Reacts, and I am out.